Yo, what to do, YouTube? It's your boy ColtsTalk. We're back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Lamar Jackson potentially going to the Indianapolis Colts. It's just per rumor. This is something as a theory I drew up. Personally, Ravens fans, do not attack me. Just being honest. When you look at the Colts and the situation they're in, and I hope this video pushes the Colts to make a move because they haven't been doing anything so far, and the Panthers just moved up in the draft. The Bears traded down, and now we're on the brink of a Will Levis season. So a lot of fans are probably not looking forward to that because when you look at the draft, I'm pretty sure it's going to be C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson gone off the board. If Anthony Richardson decides to drop, and it's probably Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud gone, and then you got a guy like Lamar Jackson waiting in the just waiting to be signed on a deal. I mean, I wouldn't mind banging the drum on that. You know what I mean? Like I would prefer Lamar Jackson. I know a lot of fans love Anthony Richardson and his ceiling and everything he got, but if you're comparing him to a MVP who still happened to be 26 years old, well, former MVP that still happens to be 26, adding him to a Shane Steichen offense with a Jonathan Taylor, I'm going to take Lamar. Like, that's no question. Of course, Anthony Richardson is a phenomenal talent, but this is a guy we're all banging potential on. Besides a guy that we already know what he has, a dual threat quarterback. Of course, he needs to get paid, and then a lot of people are going to probably ask, okay, what's the asking price? I literally just seen Jalen Ramsey go for a bag of potato chips to Miami. You're asking me Lamar wants money, and what we're probably giving up is our pick this year and maybe a future first. I'm doing that. I'm sorry, I'm doing that. Like, this is a franchise quarterback. This isn't a regular, this isn't a Baker Mayfield scenario. This isn't a Matthew Stafford type guy. This is Lamar Jackson. This dude can do a lot of things, and you're asking him to run a Shane Steichen offense. I'm sorry, but that sounds like money to me. It really does. It really does. It sounds like money to me and Lamar Jackson, to be honest. And of course, we all know that the Ravens are probably going to match the offer or probably give Lamar his money he's asking for. They're just doing the waiting game. And a lot of this has a lot to do with Aaron Rodgers, too, because nobody knows. Everybody's on pin and nails waiting for Aaron Rodgers' deal because a lot of things can happen. The deciding factor is Aaron Rodgers. A lot of teams are waiting for the announcement of what Rodgers is going to do, if he's going to retire, is he going to stay in Green Bay, he's going to get traded to the Jets. A lot of these things play and factor a role of what the Colts are going to do moving forward as well. They need to know what team's going to go next. Of course, they're very patient. The Colts are a very patient team. They're not going to jump the gun on anything ahead of time before any other team. But, like I said, with the Panthers moving up in the deal and they coming out saying that they're probably going to be trading again because they have assets now, so they're willing to give it up. You never know what's going to happen. So like I said, if the Panthers decide to go take a quarterback and they take one of our guys and we have two options left, which is Hendon Hooker, Will Levis, or Anthony Richardson, and then you have a guy like Lamar Jackson on the block looking to be traded, just trying to get a deal, I would probably take Lamar over those three quarterbacks. It's just that simple. Like I said, this dude is a phenomenal talent. Of course, he's haven't really done anything besides win MVP in Baltimore. When you look at the rosters and the scenarios with the coordinator, it's like you can't really blame Lamar when you come to those type of with those arguments and statements. I think Ravens fans know how good Lamar Jackson is. I think we should know how good Lamar Jackson is due to the last time he played us, the last two times, historic game, and when he played in Indy during when the whole pandemic started. He still ripped us apart. Like, even though we had a chance of winning that game, but we had some injuries, Lamar Jackson was still being Lamar Jackson. And this is a guy that still hasn't hit his ceiling, in my opinion. I feel like he still has a lot of space to groom and become even more of a talent than what he already is. Of course, you might say, well, he won MVP. Well, I mean, he was young and he still was ripping and running, doing his thing. But Like, we only seen half of his arm, in my opinion. That Dolphins game, like, it's shown flashes of what he can do on a normal basis if he has a set it offense and a guy like a Michael Pittman Jr. on his side with an Alec Pierce. If you give him some tall receivers, he could do some damage. Like, I really believe he could do some damage with a set it offensive line and a coach that fits into his type of ability of what he can do, like an Indianapolis Colts. I think he can really, turn some heads and become that top three quarterback that we all thought he was always going to be. Of course, you talk about the Mahomes and the Josh Allens of the world, but Lamar is still up there. He's still a top six quarterback, top five quarterback, no question. When he's healthy and on the field. Of course, you might talk about the injury factor. Look, when you don't have an offensive line to protect you, you're going to get hurt. It's just quite simple. It's normal. It's part of the sport. The most important thing is how you bounce back from it. How do you recover? And of course, that's why a lot of people are, questioned on Hendon Hooker's ability coming out of the draft, what he can do coming off of his injury, and what he did his last year in college was pretty impressive. So I mean, that's why a lot of people are banging the drum like, hey, trade back and get Hooker. I'm not so fond of that. Like I said, we're talking about drafted talent, and this is Hooker that's not even the top three quarterback in the draft. So why would I trade back to get him? That doesn't make sense to me. So, like I said, if Stroud's gone and Bryce Young is gone, I wouldn't mind Will Levis or Anthony Richardson, but I definitely wouldn't mind trading for Lamar Jackson either. So like I said, that all of those guys, Stroud or Lamar, are definitely boosting your franchise into playoff contention. Anthony Richardson, he has the potential to do that, but I think he still has a lot of growing pains to go through. So that's going to be a process. But the finished process is Lamar Jackson. It's just that simple. So if we don't get Stroud, I'm going to be upset because he happens to be the best quarterback in the draft when it comes to accuracy. So I definitely will want to do that. Like I said, you guys can probably have your own opinion on your decisions, but this is when you become active. Let me know in the comment section, should we trade for Lamar? Would you trade for Lamar, or would you trade up in the draft? Let me know all these things, or even would you trade back if two quarterbacks are gone? If Stroud's gone and Bryce Young is gone, would you trade back? Would you want to get Levis? Would you want to go trade back to get Hendon Hooker? Let me know all these things in the comment section. This is Marcus, and the next time, you've been culture shocked.